ShredMentor Challenge of the Day, number 52. Today we're going to be using something that sounds a lot like odd time, but it really isn't. It's just 12/8, but I'm going to be grouping together 5s and 7s, or actually 16th notes in 5/8 and 16th notes in 7/8. In all, we could just count this as 12/8. Since I do a lot of recording, that's a quicker way to approach it. Anyway, here's how it sounds. Okay, so what's going on here? Again, it sounds a lot more technical than it is. All I'm doing is kind of something that's a modified groupings of 4. I do this a lot with 4s, especially in like kind of minor pentatonic. And it's very much just I'm borrowing that technique, but I'm throwing an extra 2 into the beginning. So let's examine what I'm kind of doing. All right, so that's just the minor pentatonic version of it, just to kind of give you a vibe for how I might also use that. What I'm doing is kind of using like the Hirojoshi scale. We've kind of done this in previous Challenge of the Day videos as well. But instead of kind of 2 notes here and 3 notes here, I'm actually using it like a 2-note per string and alternating which high note I go with. So it's kind of like pick, pull off, pick, pick, higher note, pick, pull off, pick, pick. So it's kind of like the 2, the 1, the 5, the 6, and the 5 of the minor scale. It's basically G minor. And then I go to the 3 instead of the 2. And what I'm doing after the first 2 sets of 4 is just that first little pick, pull off again. I'm adding an extra 2 notes in between. So basically I do 2 sets of 4 and a 2, and then I do 3 sets of 4 and a 2. All right, so it's what makes it, that little extra 2 being thrown in there kind of offsets the whole thing by a half a beat every time. Because if we think of these as 16th notes, we're basically, again, we're in 5/8, and then we're in 7/8. And so that would be kind of odd time, but when you look at what 5 and 7 is, that's 12, and there's no reason to go out of your way adding extra time signatures if really you could just think of it as a 12/8 pattern. It's both. It's all of these things, really. It's just a matter of perspective and how you want to think of it. It is, in fact, constructed from a 5/8 and a 7/8 measure. But basically, it's the counting would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and it starts again there. And instead of that last 2, I just go into the C and do a final note right there. So it's kind of like on beat 7 of the second 7/8 measure. I just go in for a final note and hold it. So in a way, it's almost kind of like 5/8, then 7/8, then 5/8, then 6/8, and a final note. So I guess, yeah, that's a little bit odd time-ish, but it can be really cool if it's, you know, as a way to just offset something that's actually fairly normal, to add a really cool technical sound to something that is actually just pretty much straightforward 12/8. Okay, now I should mention that I did say this is Hirojoshi. I am actually using 1 note from outside of that. It is very much based on the Hirojoshi shape, but if this is 5 and 6 of the minor scale, this is the root of the minor scale, it's G minor. I'm using the A as the second, B flat as the minor third. I am actually borrowing a note that is not in the Hirojoshi scale, which is the 4th of the minor scale. So technically, really, the whole thing is in a selective portion of G minor. So just to be clear, yes, it's not really Hirojoshi, but most of it is really just based around that little Hirojoshi scale shape that we've used before. Anyway, one last time, a little slower than the first time. And that's it. You give it a try, and I'll see you again tomorrow.